Hi, first grade. It's time for Faith Studies again. This is our second week, and if you notice, I'm in a different room of my house. I'm in my kitchen today because Paige is going to help me, and we're going to make Easter story cookies. After this video, I have another video that you can watch about the Easter story, and then the third thing is going to be your activity. We're going to be using Legos to tell the story of Easter. All right, let's get started. Easter story cookies. So first I'm going to show you the ingredients. I've already turned my oven on and it is preheated to 300 degrees. And you're going to want to make these when you are pretty much when you can leave them in the oven overnight. So don't do this first thing in the morning because they have to stay in the oven for a good bit of time. All right, here's our ingredients. We have 1 cup of chocolate chips, and we have a wooden spoon. We have a teaspoon of vinegar, 3 egg whites, a pinch of salt, 1 cup of sugar, and some tape. We'll see how that's used later. All right, so first thing is our chocolate chips. Paige has already put our chocolate chips inside a Ziploc bag, and she's going to be using a wooden spoon to break up the chocolate chips into smaller pieces. Now this symbolizes the time in the Easter story when Jesus was arrested and the Roman soldiers were beating him. All right, so now that we have our chocolate chips broken up into small pieces, we're going to set those aside. We're not going to use them quite yet. The next ingredient that we're going to do is vinegar. Paige, can you smell that vinegar?
It does not smell good.
What's it smell like?
Sour.
Very sour. Well, when Jesus was on the cross hanging, he got thirsty, and he asked for a drink, and the soldiers gave him vinegar. Would you want to drink that if you were thirsty?
No.
No. So she's going to put that in our mixing bowl. And then the next item is our egg whites. So if you'll take the egg whites and put them in the bowl. The egg whites represent Jesus giving his life for us so that we could have life. And then the next item is salt. Now we're just going to do a little pinch. So take a little pinch in between your fingers and put that in the bowl also. And the salt represents the salty tears shed by Jesus' followers and the bitterness of their own sin. All right, so far these ingredients are not very appetizing. Salt, vinegar, egg whites. So we're going to add something sweet now. We're going to be adding our sugar, our cup of sugar. And the sugar represents the sweetest part of the story. The part where Jesus died for us so that we could have life and he loves us. So Paige is going to pour that in, and I wanted to share the verse John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." All right, so we have all of our ingredients in except for the chocolate chips. We made it a little bit better with sugar, but now we need to beat this in our mixer for, what was it, Paige, 10 to 15 minutes? Until we get stiff white peaks. So we'll see if that happens. We'll be back after that. Oh. Paige.
Chicken nuggets.
Were you dreaming about dinner?
Maybe. You'll never know.
I don't know that was a long time. That was 12 minutes. Paige, check it and see what you think.
It's ready.
All right, we got some white peaks there, so now we know it's ready. So Paige is now going to take the chocolate chips, pour them in the bowl, and fold them into the mixture. And then we're going to make mounds of what we have in our bowl, our cookie dough, if you want to call it that. And each mound represents the rocky tomb where Jesus was laid, where his body was taken in the tomb. We'll show you what that looks like in just a few minutes, or in just a few seconds. And here they are. We took them out and made little drops with them and put them on the cookie sheet. And so we'll be putting them in the oven next. Now, if you're in my house and you help me bake, that means you get to lick the spoon or you get to lick the bowl. So Paige gets to do the licking today. So we're going to put them in the oven. Remember, the oven has already been preheated for at 300 degrees. And then we're going to put them in the oven and turn the oven off. We still have one ingredient that we haven't used yet. Tape. Any ideas what this might be used for? We'll see. All right, it's time to put the cookies in the oven. Paige, will you do that for us? So she's going to put those in the oven, and she's going to turn the oven off. Okay. And then you'll shut the door. And then this is where the tape comes in. So she's going to take that tape and she is going to tape the oven door shut. And this is to symbolize the seal that was on the tomb, the stone that was rolled in front of the tomb. Now, these have to stay in the oven overnight. They don't have to, but that's highly recommended. You can, once you've turned the oven, did you turn the oven off? Once you've turned the oven off, you can leave them in there overnight, and then they're just right in the morning. We did ours earlier in the day, and we'll probably check them maybe before we go to bed, and they'll probably be ready. So, but if you do make it at night, leave them in overnight. And so the tomb has been sealed, and Jesus is in the tomb. And then so later we'll see what happens the next day. All right. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. So what happened Easter morning, Paige?
Mary, the two Marys,
Yep.
came to the tomb.
And what did they find at the tomb?
That the tomb was open and there was an angel saying that Jesus had risen.
Okay, so Paige is going to get the untape the stove and get the cookies out. And what you're going to notice, hopefully it shows well in my video, that the cookies have cracked. So they have cracks in them. And then when she tears it apart, you'll see that it's hollow inside. So just like the tomb is empty because Jesus rose up from the grave, our cookie's empty. All right, can you bring one over, Paige? Oh, hold it up to, there you go. All right, now try to, ooh, okay, hold it up. Wow, oh yeah, it is opened up. Kind of empty cavities in there. That's cool. All right, so those are Easter story cookies. Awesome. Enjoy.